While it might be the offseason for the San Francisco 49ers, it is recruiting season for players like Deommodore Lenoir. And you already might be like, why do we got Maxx Crosby on the screen? Why are we talking about Maxx Crosby? Well, shout out to Deommodore Lenoir, who's doing his best John Lynch impression, at least getting the social media conversation tilted in a certain direction. If you take a look at the tweet that Deommodore Lenoir made yesterday, he says Maxx Crosby would look crazy in a Niner jersey. Now, this is completely out of nowhere. There was nothing about Maxx Crosby in the news. Maxx Crosby hasn't said anything about the San Francisco 49ers. So this was just, Deommodore Lenoir was like, you know what? Let me take to Twitter with this thought. Now, it could be that simple. It could just be a thought like, oh, yeah, Max would look dope. Maybe Deommodore Lenoir, Maxx Crosby bumped into each other. Maybe they had a conversation, and Deommodore's like, you know what? I'm going to get this fire started. Now, we'll see. But I also want to show you this video of Maxx Crosby defending Brock Purdy. This is actually a video I came across doing some dynasty prep work, but happened to come across Maxx Crosby defending Brock Purdy from all the slander. Take a listen to what Maxx Crosby had to say about Brock Purdy right here.
I hate when people approach it that way. People hate on Brock or on Purdy. It's like,
that's crazy.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what is?
When I
he
watched
done
Brock's
wrong?
film, he makes throws. It's like that was
He's damn good.
phenomenal. Oh yeah.
Purdy can ball.
If Purdy was
can
2
ball.
inches taller, I feel like people wouldn't look at him as much of like an, I don't know if underdog is the right word, but like I feel like they don't respect his physical attributes.
100%, because he moves around really well, makes
good
plays off
athlete.
schedule, and
Yeah.
dude.
Well done,
And even in the
Purdy.
pocket, bro,
Off-platform
makes
throws.
some throws that are like throwing out routes on time. Like makes a lot of really good throws. Yeah, I don't understand that, but it's just how it goes. Yeah.
That's how the league is, and it's like the aura thing too. Like he shows up dressed in like, a Walmart outfit and shit. People are like, yeah, he can't be good.
Yeah.
No chance.
What's wrong with Walmart these days? You know what I'm saying? I love Walmart. But I'm pretty sure this shirt is from Walmart. I'm not even kidding. But so I love Walmart.
So now the conversation begins of should Maxx Crosby actually be considered for the San Francisco 49ers? He has since signed a contract extension, 4 years, $94 million with an average salary of $23.5 million. As we know, Nick Bosa set the record for a short time of being the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And so the question becomes, could you get the 28-year-old onto the San Francisco 49ers? Well, there is a natural out in the contract after 2024. And maybe, just maybe, there's something that the 49ers could do. And keep in mind, I think it is important to note that there is new ownership in the building. And you do have Tom Brady calling the shots opposed to, the previous owner who's been in business for a while since Al died. So with that being said, there's always been a belief that the Raiders wouldn't trade with the 49ers because the 49ers famously tried to go after Khalil Mack when they were making him available. And John Lynch even said, we thought we had a better, more competitive deal. And, Davis still sent Khalil Mack to the Chicago Bears instead of the 49ers, simply because he didn't want to send one of their star players right into their backyard, going from Oakland to San Francisco. Well, now the Raiders have been in Las Vegas for a couple of years. You now have new people in place to call shots like Tom Brady, who probably care less about old kind of rivalries like the 49ers and Raiders and is more interested in winning football games. So maybe there's a chance that the Raiders would trade the 49ers with the 49ers. Now, would they trade Maxx Crosby to the 49ers? I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see. But when you look at Maxx Crosby's numbers in 2025 and 2026, he only carries a $10 million cap hit in 2025, a dead cap hit, I should say, and a $5 million dead cap hit in 2026. So honestly, if the Raiders were to move on, they don't take that big of a hit, and the 49ers would only be taking on a $28 million cap hit in this upcoming year and a $24 million cap hit in 2026. Now, obviously, it sounds like a lot, and the 49ers are already kind of in a situation where they have to pay Brock Purdy and, pay some other players. But as we know, when you pay those guys and you give those extensions, you can spread out the cap hit. And actually, the cap hit would be not that big of a deal, at least in year one. And you could set up the contract so you could fit in a couple big time contracts on the front end of Brock Purdy's deal and backload the rest. And then when you get to that back end of that contract, you can restructure, you can renegotiate, and just keep pushing that cap hit out. So I know there's a lot of conversation about Brock getting paid and you can't build around him, but I do think that it all depends on how you go about building the structure of the contract and less about the APY and all of that kind of stuff. So is there a world that exists where the 49ers could theoretically trade for Maxx Crosby? I wouldn't say it's highly likely. I would say maybe. I would love it. I think, you get Maxx Crosby on the opposite side of Nick Bosa, the league would be crapping its pants, if we're being perfectly honest. I think it would be fantastic, but it seems like a pie in the sky dream. Now, it could happen. Again, you never say never in the NFL, but would Maxx Crosby really get traded to the 49ers? I don't know. I do think, from things that I've heard behind the scenes, that at least last year, the 49ers were willing to have those discussions with high-end defensive ends who could be traded and would need to be paid at a high level. So maybe that exists, maybe it doesn't, but I don't know, man. I know Maxx Crosby is, he's a big Raider guy. It's something where, he feels pretty strongly about being on the Raiders. Would he want to be traded? I don't know. It's going to be, I think, fascinating to see the new direction of the Raiders this year, but I think it'd be kind of crazy for the Raiders to trade Maxx Crosby. I don't see any need for them to do so. So probably not going to be coming down to the San Francisco 49ers, but it's a nice idea. You let me know if the 49ers should do everything they can to get their hands on Maxx Crosby. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.